Alright, starting with the before starting engine checklist. Pre-flight has been completed. Circuit breakers. Or make sure all of them are in. They're checked. Brakes. Pressing on the brakes, checking for fluid on the right, and then we'll be checking for fluid on the left. That is checked. Seatbelt harness are secured, adjusted. Before starting engine checklist complete. Starting engine checklist. Ignition key. Is inserted. Avionics is off. Carb heat is off. Beacon is on. Mixture going to full rich. Throttle, we're going to go slight. Primer as required. We're going to do 2 strokes. You're going to pull the primer all the way out, let the fuel get into there before you push it into the cylinders. Make sure it's locked in place. Brakes are held, prop, looking left and right. Prop is cleared. Clear prop! Master's coming on. And ignition, we're going to start. Alright, throttle's at 1,000 RPM. Oil pressure is checked, rising into green. Ammeter is checked positive. Avionics coming on.
Alright, ICS check. Loud and clear. Right, nav and strobe lights. Nav is coming on, strobe lights coming on. Both are on. Starting engine checklist is complete. Before taxi checklist, flight controls.
Pensacola Tower, Skyway 502. Which side do you want us on?
Sure, 50 Juliet, make right traffic televised.
Right close traffic 502.
Alright, flight controls checked.
50 Juliet.
Alright, trim, we're going to set for takeoff.
Sure, 50 Juliet, expect that.
Trim is set, make sure we're going to lean it out about an inch. Mixture is lean, flaps coming up. Verifying they're both retracting. Heat, air vent, and defrost as required. And radios. Alright, for radios here at Pensacola, we're going to first grab ATIS 12125.
The Pensacola Terminal Ranch is uncontrolled. Pilot pushback calls not required. All pilots read back the hold start instructions. Advise us contact, give information. Romeo. Pensacola Airport information, Romeo, 153 Zulu, wind 100 at 4, visibility 10, ceiling 2,100, overcast, temperature 21, 2.16, altimeter 3031. Expect RNAV approach, runway 8, expect the VFR practice approach is runway 17. Hazardous weather information for the southeast coastal waters, further information available on flight service frequencies. Notice the airman, the runway 17 ILS is unmonitored. The Pensacola Terminal Ranch is uncontrolled. Pilot pushback calls not required. All pilots read back the hold start instructions. Advise us contact, give information. Romeo. Pensacola Airport information, Romeo, 153 Zulu, wind 100 at 4, visibility 10, ceiling 2,000.
Alright, ATIS information, Romeo. We got runway 08 in use, altimeter is 3031. I'm going to go ahead and set that on the altimeter here.
Maintain VFR, squawk 4227, Skyware 12.
And winds are 100 at 4.
Skyware 12 Hotel.
All right, clearance delivery is now up on the radio. I'm going to get the clearance here to take off for the northwest practice area. Pensacola clearance, Belo 87 Lima. Request clearance to northwest practice area VFR 2500 with information Romeo.
Bolo 87 Lima, Pensacola clearance, maintain VFR, matter below 1,700. Departure frequency 119.0, squawk 4262.
Bolo 87 Lima, cleared VFR at or below 1,700, departure frequency 119.0, squawk 4262.
Bolo 87 Lima, read back correct.
Alright, we got a clearance. Good readbacks. Switching over to ground 1219.
Bolo 450 Pensacola ground, giveaway to a Skyhawk on Delta behind
And
the
I'll put the
Skyhawk,
tower frequency on the backup 119.9 since that's what we're going to switch to once we hit the hold short.
The Skyhawk, taxi via Delta, the run up, Bolo 450.
Hey, ground, Cirrus 127 Victor.
Alright, so my radios are checked and set. Flight instruments, airspeeds indicating 0, attitudes erect and stable. Altimeter set 3031 is within 75 feet of the field elevation.
Taxi via Charlie Delta. Hold short of runway 17 at Delta.
Alright, turn coordinator, ball is centered, and we're leveled here. Checking the heading indicator to make sure it matches the compass. Compass is indicating a heading of 265, so right now the heading indicator's off. We're going to go ahead and correct that. PSI is showing plus or minus 100 feet. Alright, and all other indications are showing good, so flight instruments are checked before taxi checklist complete. Alright, taxi checklist, transponder, we're squawking 4262. And we're going to go to out mode, so out, hit that twice, function override. Brakes, we're going to do a brake check. Alright, clear left and right coming forward. Alright, brakes are checked good, and then you pass controls over to the other pilot to check their side on the brakes. Alright, heading turn coordinators, we'll check on the taxi out of here. And coming forward, clear left and right. Alright, heading turn coordinators got good needle on the right turn with a left ball. And waiting on the left turn with left ball. Alright, so I just taxied out, kind of right here in front of the ramp. I'm going to make my ground call for the run-up area.
Ground, Skyward 50 Juliet, clear runway 8 at Charlie. Skyward 50 Juliet, Pensacola ground, behind the Cirrus, taxi to Pensacola Aviation via Charlie. Wait for the Sirius, then PAC via Charlie, 50 Juliet.
Pensacola ground to Bolo 87 Lima. From the industry line, request taxi to the run-up, information Romeo.
Bolo 87 Lima, Pensacola ground, taxi to the run-up area via Delta.
Run-up area via Delta, Bolo 87 Lima.
Cirrus 7 Victor Tango, cross runway 17 at Delta.
Alright, cleared left and right, coming forward.
Make a right on Alpha, hold short.
Alright, here's the intersection here. Clear left and right, coming left. Alright, there's my left needle, right ball, and taxi checklists are complete. we're set for the run-up. In the run-up area, make sure that your wheel is straight and aligned before you begin the run-up checklist. Alright, run-up checklist. Brakes are held. Fuel selector verifies on both. Make sure it is coming to full rich. Throttle coming to 1700 RPM. Alright, throttle is 1700 RPM. Mags. Checking the right first. Looking for no more than 125 RPM drop. Less than 100 RPM drop on that. Going back to both. Alright, checking the left mag. Alright, less than 125 RPM drop. And back to both. There was no more than a 50 RPM drop. Or no more than a 50 RPM difference between the two. Alright, car P is coming on, looking for a drop in RPM, about 50 RPM. Voltmeter, ammeter is checked, indicating positive. Suction gauge is checked in the green. Oil temperature and pressure is checked, both are in the green. Throttle coming to idle. Alright, checking above 600 RPM on the tachometer and make sure that the engine is still running at idle power. Alright, car heat is checked off. Be a slight rise in RPM. And throttle coming to full. Alright, looking for 22, at least 2250 to 2450 RPM. Coming back to 1000 RPM. Throttle friction lock is adjusted. Make sure you're going back to lean. Alright, takeoff brief. So, runway 8 is in use. Expect that we will rotate at 55 knots, climb out at 73 knots. We'll depart runway 8 and then turn to the northwest for the northwest practice area. If there is a malfunction while on the go, and we haven't rotated, we'll go ahead and abort the takeoff. If we have a malfunction after we rotate, then we'll climb out to 1,000 feet AGL, and then we'll troubleshoot in the pattern before coming around to land. If we have an engine malfunction after rotation with runway remaining, we'll go ahead and set it down with the runway we have remaining. If we have an engine malfunction below 800 feet AGL, then expect we will land the aircraft within 30 degrees of the nose. If we're above 800 AGL, when an engine malfunction occurs, then we will try to find a safe landing site to land and try to intercept a low key for back to the runway. Alright, takeoff brief is complete, run-up checklist is complete, and now we're going to go ahead and request taxi for takeoff. Pensacola ground below 87 Lima is complete, and the run-up request taxi to active.
Below 87 Lima, Pensacola ground, runway 8 at Alpha, intersection departure, taxi via Delta, cross runway 17 at Delta.
Taxi to runway 8 on Alpha for an intersection departure via Delta, cleared across runway 17 on Delta for below 87 Lima. Alright, clear left and right, coming forward.
Pensacola ground, Columbia 3970 Tango, clear at Delta 1 going to PAC.
Columbia 3970 Tango, Pensacola ground, taxi to PAC via Delta Charlie.
Alright, crossing the runway 1735, looking left and right for any traffic or any potential hazards. And cleared. And I got clearance across runway. Alright, as I approach the hold short line, I'll go ahead and switch to tower. 119.9. Alright, we'll stop here prior to hold short line, and we'll go ahead and do our lineup checklist. Lineup checklist, flaps are up, mixture is full rich, carpet is verified off, instrument transponder, we're squawking 4262, instruments, making sure everything's in place, checking that heading indicator again, indicating 355 on both. Flight instruments are checked, doors, latch right, latch left, windows are secured, and exterior lights are on. Landing light, taxi light is on, lineup checklist complete. That's called Tower below 87 Lima is holding short, runway 8 on Alpha, ready for departure.
Below 87 Lima, Pensacola Tower, runway 8 at Alpha. Turn left heading 060, cleared for takeoff.
Left 060, clear for takeoff, runway 8 below 87 Lima. Alright, got the clearance for takeoff. Looking left and right, I am cleared, getting on the runway.
Below 450, contact departure.
Switching departure, below 450.
Alright, getting on the center of runway. Heels are to the deck. Switching my scan outside. Going to 2000 RPM. Alright, 2000 RPM, checking engine instruments. Instruments are in the green, going smoothly to full power. Adding a little bit of right rudder. Airspeed is alive. And rotated at 55 knots and above, and aiming for 73 knots on the climb out. Alright, there's 73 knots. And waiting to climb 400 feet AGL before I start my left turn to 060. Alright, turn left 060 as I climb through 400 feet AGL. Alright, tuning up my approach frequency, 119. On the standby, ready for the switch. Here's 060. Alright, climbing through 1,000 feet, climb checklist. We're at airspeed, 73 knots, throttle's full.
87 Lima, contact departure, good day.
Switching departure, below 87 Lima, thanks.
83, 6 miles from the final approach fix.
Alright, 73 knots.
110.
Throttle's full, mixture's full, rich.
From the final approach course clear on runway 8 approach.
Landing instruments are checked, landing light, taxi lights off.
Establish cleared RNAV, runway 8, Delta 2530. Go press Navy 1071 solar, press cancel, flight following, proceed VFR, southwest.
Alright, leveling off 1,700 feet.
Navy 1071, radar service terminated, squad VFR for exchange for good day.
Current VFR for exchange, thanks. Navy 1071 solar.
Pensacola departure, below 87 Lima's off Pensacola, 1,700 for the northwest practice area.
Below 87 Lima, Pensacola departure, radar contact, turn left heading 350, continue VFR climb.
Left 350, continue climb for below 87 Lima.
Over 100 Kilo Yankee, Bell helicopter, 12 o'clock, 10 miles off the direction, 500 feet, going to the north on the east bay transition along the coast.
100 Kilo Yankee, we'll be looking.
Delta 2583, towers 199, good day.
199, Delta 2583.
Below 45 Kilo, S turns as needed for the turbulence, towers 199, good day.
Tower 99, below 45 kilos, see ya.
Alright, we got clearance to climb up to 2,500, which is our requested VFR altitude, and we are at a sign heading of 350 as we head to the northwest.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. 76 uniform, I got my eye out for it. I see them.
76 uniform, roger. Red Knight 079, contact approach on 120.65.
26.5, you have a good one, see you. Pensacola departure, Bolo 450, I believe we're clear of traffic. We'd like to work at 2,000 and below.
Bolo 450, approved as requested, resume on navigation on course.
And there's a cloud.
Navigation approved as requested, Bolo 450.
Bolo 87 Lima, resume on navigation on course.
Bolo 87 Lima, woke up. Alright, coming back down to 2,500 and go back to our cruise. Altitude 2,500 feet, and we got permission to resume on navigation.
November 195 Sierra, contact mobile approach 118.5, good day.
18.5, not back there again.
Number 76 uniform, contact actually there's additional traffic, another T6 at your 2 o'clock and 10 miles westbound, 4,400 indicated. We're not talking to him. Contact Jack Center on 120.2 for further advisories.
120.2 for Jacksonville, thank you.
Let's go approach. Bolo 87 Lima, request 3,500 for VFR.
Yes, sir. I told you to continue VFR climb as approved.
Bolo 87 Lima, copies. Comment at 3,500.
Approach, Aviate Echo 056 Solo, checking in 500, looking to pick up course rules for RTB South Lighting.
Alright, climbing up to 3,500 feet. Climb checklist. We got 73 knots, throttle full, mixture full.
Aviate Echo 0.
Flight instruments are checked, landing lights, exit lights off.
The hospital route, looking to pick up course rules for South Lighting.
Navy 8 Echo 056 Solo, radar service terminated, squawk the appropriate code, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Navy Echo 065 Solo, thanks.
And Navy 8 Echo 0, are you calling yourself 065 Solo or 056 Solo? Can you ident for me? Navy Echo 056 Solo, appears you just got your call sign mixed up. SC just went to the course rules, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, 056 Solo.
Number 100 Kilo Yankee, Bell helicopter.
Alright, 3,500, leveling off.
The direction at 300 feet.
100 Kilo Yankee, yes ma'am.
Letting your speed get back up to 9 knots.
Inbound regional
Taking
for
the power
landing.
out. 2,100 RPM
100
for
Kilo
cruise.
Yankee, roger. Let's just avoid Navy Sherman's airspace and a right turn heading of 350, join a midfield right downwind runway 8.
100 Kilo Yankee, I'll avoid Sherman and 350 for the midfield downwind. That's still approach, 36.979 Bravo, 7,000.
Pensacola approach, Navy Echo 090 Solo is 3 miles west of the beach ball on the coastline, looking for the East Bay transition.
Navy Echo 090, Pensacola altimeter is 3030.
3030 for 090 Solo.
Or 100 Kilo Yankee, proceed direct to field.
100 Kilo Yankee, direct to the
Alright, now that we're leveled off at 3,500, do a cruise checklist. Throttle set to 2,000 RPM. That's going to keep me around 90 knots. Carpet is off. Mixture, I'm going to lean it out about an inch.
Pensacola altimeter is 3030.
Flight instruments were checked. Checking hand indicator and compass. Alright, about 310.
094 Pensacola, report clear.
310, looking good. Instruments are checked and landing lights, exit lights are off. Cruise checklist complete.